Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Yes Hybrid Uninked DCP. Yeah, that's a mouthful of stuff. This board features Yes's 141 cam rocker, which is a more mellow rocker in the tip and the tail, and then a more abundant camber section through the middle. This is going to give you the load, pop, snap, and drive of camber underfoot, but you're going to have a more mellow rocker in the nose and the tail, which will slightly help you with turn initiation as well as powder float. This board is available in 153, 157, and 161. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on an overcast day, cooler temps, there was some light snow falling, there was fresh snow on and off the run. You could find spots where there was perfect corduroy, icy corduroy, snow was a little firm, there was everyone's personal favorite, chunder, everywhere else, and I rode this board with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board comes in with ever so slightly a hair stiffer than a middle of the road directional freeride flex. You got your softer nose that stiffens up right outside the front insert pack and progressively stiffens back up through the tail, with a moderate amount of torsional flex, but nothing crazy. You can twist this board when you need to. Now, when it comes to stability, you got a little bit of a wider platform, you got camber underfoot, so that's gonna help. Now the nose, that's where it's not stable. This thing folds back when you plow through chunder and chop, and you feel it under your front foot. But from the middle of the board back through the tail, this thing gets super stable and it crushes everything in its path. So when you're on that back foot, you're plowing through the chop, the chunder, you're trying to get to the goods, you don't really have to worry about this thing getting knocked around. It's when you're a little more weight forward and you're coming in and just everything's frozen, you're gonna feel it right there. That front leg's gonna take a lot of hammering. What's nice about this board is the cam rocker profile. When you load that camber section up, which is really easy to load up, it activates that rocker in the tail and gives you a springboard effect. You never have to worry about the pop on this board. It's just gonna give it to you. You're gonna be able to get up on or over anything in your path. And that makes it a blast for just launching side hits, rollers, cat track gaps, ollieing fat skier kids. You don't have to worry about it with this board. It's predictable and it does what you need it to do. This board is playful where it counts when it comes to butters. You got this immense nose, it's wider, it's got rocker. That's where you really want to be with this board. Get your weight out on it, flex into it, feel the camber give you a little bit of fight so it's gonna snap, and just push into it, you're gonna be able to butter. Get sideways, and when you swivel around, be aware of the side cut technology on this. It may catch and be a little bit hooky for you. I found that problem every now and then. Now with the tail, it's a little stiffer. You're gonna have to do a little bit more work on it. So be aware that you're gonna be sitting on the outside of the binding, just pushing into it a little bit heavier, and it's gonna have more snap there because you've got a smaller rocker zone into that camber. It's gonna fight you. Other than that, if you know how to butter, this thing is a friggin' blast. When it comes to carving, there's a slight delay with this board. You notice that it doesn't have a quick and nimble edge-to-edge transmission. It's fluid and smooth, but it's not quick. It's got that subtle delay to it compared to some of its contemporaries. Now what's nice is you do drive this board right outside the front foot. That's how you're gonna initiate that turn. And then as you transition your weight, you drive it from inside the back foot, not the outside, the inside. That changes the whole power dynamic and it works with that tapered underbite. Now, I will say this about the tapered underbite. If I hit fully icy conditions that were just perfect and I was on edge, this thing would kick out whether it was on my heel or my toe. But it had to be absolutely perfect, icy, firm conditions. Otherwise, it never had any real problems. Now, when you do get it on edge, you can rail a turn with this board if you really want to. You drive it outside the front foot to get it to engage, but you can flex the crap out of it through the center and underfoot, which activates that rocker to give you that pop back out of the turn. This thing is great for just doing mellow, slow setup carves because you do have that delayed reaction. And then when you do get it on edge, if you really need to power it it kind of comes a little bit more alive, and it gives you that power back from inside that rear foot to push it through everything in its path. Who's this board for? The resort ripping, pow chasing, tree riding free rider. So I've ridden the regular version of the hybrid and now this one, and this one feels a little bit more delayed with just its edge-to-edge response. Otherwise, it's a great board. You got solid pop that's easy to engage. This thing is a blast to ride in trees. It makes it super surfy in there. The only thing I really didn't like was the fact that with the tapered underbite, sometimes it would hook up and kick out on me. Had to be super icy conditions for that to happen. Otherwise, it's a great board. It really doesn't feel like too much has changed from the previous version that I rode to this one. And if you really like the uninked graphics, you should just swoop it. Comparable boards: the Telos Backslash, the Ride Super Pig, the Roam Service Dog. Binding recommendations: the Now IPO, the Burton Malavita, the Union Strata. This has been my review of the Yes Hybrid Uninked DCP. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.